spoke to you before the Kurt Tibbett match when he came back with crowd. Of course, this whole Dangerfield thing, the media love it. How much do you discuss it in-house?
Look, internally he was a highly respected player. He plays for Geelong now, and we've covered Geelong as a whole this week, as a coaching group and as a playing group. And Danger's name came up because he's a player for them, and he's quite a good player. But other than that, we haven't discussed him at all.
As a former Geelong man, and he's a Geelong man, I think it's more profile this week. You or him?
I think you know the answer.
Is it unusual? I mean, just from a purely playing perspective, how much work do you have to put into it, given you know how good a player he is? If he gets off the leash, he can rip again.
Yeah, look, it's like any week that we play, there's quality players all around the competition, and Geelong have got a fair few of them. So we've put a bit of work into all the guys that we think are going to have an influence in the game. But at the same time, Geelong over the last couple of years have developed their younger guys pretty well and have got a lot of depth. So if you get caught thinking about that Dangerfield or Selwood or Hawkins going to win you a game, I think from our perspective, we'll get caught on the hop.
Is that Dangerfield-Selwood combo the most dynamic in the AFL?
You could say that, but then I reckon you're disrespecting Blitzav's, Motlop when he goes up there, Mitch Duncan, a bit of Cam Guthrie, who's an elite, versatile player. So as much as you talk about those guys, I think from our coaching perspective, if we focus on them, I think we'll get caught on the hop again.
You know, Danger's winning a bit more outside ball this year. He's becoming more effective on the outside. Has that been part of your plan during the week? Because the numbers certainly show he's doing that. Yeah,
I think Geelong as a whole are just a lot better in and around the contest this year and moving the ball forward. I think it starts in there, whether that's them winning it in there is a result of Danger, and then the result is Danger gets it outside. That's probably the case, but from what we're seeing, they're a lot better in and around the contest.
Last week, of course, because of the shorter week and you had your sample team play on a Sunday, you had to manage a few guys. By the time we go away, obviously your team will be out. But expect some changes this week, still, even though it was a good result last week in terms of the way you played?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a great result. We didn't play the way we wanted, but I think from the SNFL perspective, I mean, Nathan Van Berlo, Wayne Miller, Jared Lyons, Calvin Yolman, they've all been playing to a standard where we feel comfortable with any of those guys coming in. So we'll make the final call a little bit later and get the teams out.
Whose job is it going to be to play on Danger?
I think the AFL these days, there's not really many taggers like there used to be. I think you'll see that most of our mids will sort of roll through him. So it won't be like a specific role, because as I said before, they've got a lot of depth that you can't disrespect.
Are the boys still a little bit sore from just the quick turnaround at Etihad Stadium, or they will be pretty fresh?
Nah, look, 6-day breaks are a part of our industry, and I think we recovered pretty well. The boys had heaps of energy on the track on Tuesday night out here, and the same today, so we're pretty comfortable that they're in a good spot.
Sorry.
That's right.
How much of a focus has the centre clearance been? That was an area that wasn't great last week against the Doggies. How much of a focus has that been this week?
No, look, it wasn't, and I think Pikey mentioned that after the game in his press conference, and we have not necessarily put a massive amount of focus on it, but it's an area that we've got to improve on as a team, and Campo and Doc Clark have put a little bit of time in to sort of adjust what needed to be adjusted after last week.
How much fight play do you expect among the Crows players in Danger tomorrow night?
I expect them to treat him as a Geelong player with a Geelong jumper and play our system, really. So wherever he sets up, we're going to set up in our system. So
do you think there'll be any extra nickel there at all, or any sort of complications with Danger at all?
I think as an assistant coach, it's probably not my area to publicly comment, but I'd be disappointed if our guys go the way to do that. Yeah.
So the focus must be totally just on the footy in the game, not to get...
Yeah, absolutely. I think this game now moves too quickly, and it's played too quickly for us to focus on one individual or a couple of individuals. It's more about us, our system, and focus on the ball, because that's where games are won.
Where does Geelong sit in the pecking order?
You could say that they're 5-1. Sorry, 6-1, are they? Sorry, 6-1. They're one of the informed teams in the comp. In saying that, we're comfortable and pretty confident the way we're playing as well. When we play our way, we think we can match it with the best and be there. And we actually think Geelong are one of the best teams in the comp, so it's going to be something to look forward to on Friday.
You're the two highest scoring teams in the comp. Do you back yourselves in a
Yeah, I think as a defensive coach, I don't really want to see a shootout. But yeah, I think both ends of the ground, as you've seen, they've got some pretty good attacking weapons. Obviously, they got Hawkins, Kirsten, who's a young player who's actually improved a lot. We've also got Jenkins, Walker, Betts, Lynch as well. So at the same time, I think both defensive groups are pretty well stocked too. So it's going to be an interesting tussle.
How important is this game? Obviously, first 8 rounds we considered really tough on the program. To be 5-3 as opposed to 4-4, how significant is it to get a win tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've pretty much answered your question with 5-3 sounds a lot better than 4-4, and that's what we're after.
You spoke about Tex. Do you believe, there's been a lot of talk this week, should he rest, should he not, should he keep playing? Do you believe he's ready for a big game tomorrow night?
Absolutely. I mean, all the external stuff internally, he's training well. He's had some good continuity with his training over the last fair few weeks. So it's only a matter of time before you see Taylor Walker really rip a game apart. And I think his contribution to the team internally has been quite good. So from a form perspective, he's on the rise.
As a former key forward yourself, Pods, is it just a matter sometimes of just not, getting your hands on the ball? Obviously getting on the ball, but not those marks, maybe just not sticking for whatever reason?
Well, I think as a key forward, there's a lot of things that playing key forward is sort of multifaceted. So you've got to be able to be good in a contest, good in the air, good on a lead, and yeah, being clean with the ball because you're going to get limited opportunities does help your ability to get more possessions, but also your confidence. So it probably starts there, I reckon, as a key forward is to be clean, and Tex is one of our cleanest.
After last, what's the biggest area of improvement following the Bulldogs game, and where do you have to fire up to win this one?
I think most games at AFL these days is in around the contest, and Geelong, like the Bulldogs, are probably 1-2 in the comp. So from our perspective, we've got to match it in there.
With McKay out for up to a month, who do you think is going to step up for him in his place?
Yeah, he's actually been quite dynamic for us in the midfield. I mean, as I said before, we've got a couple of guys in the SNFL, Jared Lyons, Wayne Miller, Cam Ellis-Yeoman, Nathan Van Bella, who can come in and play a similar role. So we'll just wait and see tonight after selection and work out one of those guys.